Can you actually 2x your Amazon conversion rate without lowering prices? I know it sounds crazy and too good to be true, but brands out there are doing it. And here are typically a few reasons why they are able to do this. Now, most brands think the only way to boost conversions is to slash the prices because everyone else is slashing their prices. But that is a complete lie, both you and I know, because that just completely destroys your margins. So for example, if you have a strong product, your customer isn't actually choosing between you and a cheaper product. They're just deciding whether they believe your product is worth the price that you're charging. And the only way this is really possible is through story, visual authority, proof, and a proper advertising strategy. We took this brand from 286,000 to 350,000 within literally a month, all by reducing ACoS by 33% and boosting ROAS by 49%. And this included hyper-focused targeting. By the way, if you want the doc that I'm going over in this video, it'll be one of the links in the description below. So the first thing you can do to improve your conversion rate without lowering prices is obviously having laser-focused targeting in your campaigns and in your listings. Because obviously, if we are so specific in the keywords we're targeting that are actually our product is, we will typically have a high conversion rate because people searching for that are looking for that product specifically. So if the shopper doesn't instantly see their exact search intent reflected in your listing, they will scroll past you, okay? This is the most important thing. That means your money keywords, the terms with strong intent and high click-through rate must show up everywhere. So in your title, your main image callouts, for example, your main image, if you have a box, include it in the main image of the box. Look at the product back here. There's one of the listings I had on Amazon before. Include the main image, include the main keyword on it, sorry. That's very, very important because if someone clicks it, someone searches for it and sees the keyword on your main image, higher chance to click it and actually turn into a buyer. Also reflect this in your bullet points, the benefits of your product, and in your backend term. If your product doesn't clearly match what they type, they will not click, and no clicks equals no conversion. Hey, if you're an Amazon seller serious about scaling your business on Amazon, we're offering a free in-depth audit of your brand. We'll cover exactly what's working, what's not working, and give you a plan of action to efficiently scale. So it should be the first link in the bio and also in the comments, and we'll get that forward to you. Now let's get back to the video. So for example, let's look at Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser, okay, doing about 220. So for example, let's look at Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser. So this is doing about 320K a month, okay? And we know the main keyword is going to be Ultra Facial Cleanser. Because if someone searches for this, this is the product they're going to be looking for. Look at this, their main image, Ultra Facial Cleanser. I can clearly read that right when I click on the listing, or even before I click the listing, I can read that right away. Ultra Facial Cleanser. We have it in the title right away. If you understand that on mobile optimization, they could only typically read up to this part. So if they read Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser, boom, they know what exactly they're looking for. And obviously the listing is going to reflect everything built around this, right? We have it again here, Ultra Facial Cleanser. This is the most important keyword for them. So we really want to identify the main keywords for our product and actually reflect it all over our listing. Ultra Facial Cleanser, look at this again, another time right here. Effectively cleanses for healthy looking skin. This is not just random. This is through actual research that they identified. Here are the most important keywords for our product. This is has the highest search volume. This is what people actually try to intent and click for. So let's optimize our listing around these keywords. And it doesn't just have to be one keyword. It can be multiple keywords. It can be this. It can have another keyword, another keyword. Just make sure you include it all over your listing, because this is where customer search intent is so important. Because we know on Amazon, it's the lowest part of the funnel, right? Because customers are actively searching for a product they already want to buy. It's not like Shopify or anywhere else where you're scrolling and then you find a product by thin air. On Amazon, you search in a keyword because you want to buy a specific product. So we want to make sure our listing reflects exactly what they are searching for. Now, this doesn't only apply to the listing itself. This applies to our PPC campaign targeting. If we know how we're running campaigns is to be super focused on our main keywords, we will see typically a higher conversion rate. But the issue most people realize is that there might not be enough search volume on these keywords, right? For example, all these keywords here, the most specific ones typically will not have the highest search volume. So we're typically going to be looking at the ones with high search volume, but they might not be super specific and our conversion rate might not be as high, which is totally fine. That's why you can have a balance of both. You can have campaigns set up to be more broad and identify new shoppers versus very niche ones where they're very specific in their intent and you'll see a higher conversion rate. But once you identify those keywords that you have good conversion rate for and are really high intent search terms, just double down on it. Try to be a little bit more aggressive on those ad campaigns, right? Because if the conversion rate stays at the same level and you're just spending more and getting more clicks, that's a bigger benefit for you. So optimize your listing for that. So this is also another very important approach you can do to really improve that conversion rate. Point number 2 obviously is images that sell. If you don't know, your images on Amazon are one of the most important things to convert traffic. Not only to click your listing, but to convert buyer. I have a video right here about a whole CTR masterclass you can have a watch. If you don't know, your main image is going to be the number one thing to drive sales because, for example, if someone's searching for ultra facial cleanser, there's going to be a tons of options here, right? So how do they decide what to choose on? It's typically due to the main image, the pricing, and the reviews. That's going to be the most important thing. You have a look at this listing. Although it's not super in your face, I can still read ultra facial cleanser. They have 2,000 reviews, 26 price point, but it's really solid, right? So your main image is going to be the most important thing. Like this, for example, Neutrogena, that ultra gentle, typically just showed up right away. Like I can read it clear as daylight. This one not as easy. It really depends on your category. Like I said, ultra gentle showed up again. I can clearly see it. The clean slate, you see how like it was right in my face. So maybe it's a very important keyword for them, for this brand. So this is going to be very, very important. Even in CeraVe, you can see that they have hydrating facial cleanser. I can clearly read that. It's clearly in the title right here. These are just things to combine the click-through rate and the search intent to overall bring more traffic and higher conversion rates. Next example, maybe we look for melatonin gummies. We go down here, we see all of these different variations. Everything has melatonin in it. Melatonin gummies is typically going to be in all of these main ones here. Melatonin gummy over here. This one's doing $40K a month. I see gummies clearly on the actual main image here. Melatonin here, melatonin gummies. You can just see like the combination of the image and actual title to include your most important keywords. Customers don't read first, they scan and judge within 2 seconds. So your hero image must immediately show what the product is, the main benefit, and why it is better than the competition. Those are the 3 points you must hit on. And then you want to use infographics and lifestyle imagery inside of your actual listing copy to visually solve the customer's problem. Showcase exactly who it's meant for, their age, demographic, skin color, whatever, okay? And why it'll help them achieve their end goal. Your images must do the persuasion for you or conversion will stay low forever. Third thing that is a super plus if you have is a solid video, okay? Having a solid video can really help you differentiate from the competitors because it eliminates the uncertainty because they can just watch a video about what your product is, especially if it's a UGC video, really well done, or even like a commercial video. Both can work really, really well. It shows credibility. That's another thing. You can have videos in your A+ content, customer reviews, just have more videos in general. That's gonna be very, very important. It drives higher add to cart, and it fuels video ads that dominate mobile real estate. So a video allows us to run sponsored brand video ads, sponsored display ads, and we know with these ads, they typically show up at the top when done right. For example, ZQL, look at the video right here. You pop out melatonin gummies. It shows right here, ZQL melatonin gummies. I can literally click it. They have 3 products right here. They have a whole catalog of just melatonin gummies here. Just think about that. If a brand this big is doing it, typically it works well. So we really want to double down on this for also our products. The fourth thing is having premium A+ content that justifies price. So I'm gonna show you an example here of Primal Queen. So just to give you some context, this brand came about 2 years ago and they have crushed this market. Knew about 1.7 million just with this one listing. Now, this is a category that is dominated by male-heavy products, okay? Male-heavy beef organ supplements. And they created a female-specific niche audience one. So this is for females only that want to be more healthy, superfood for beef organs, okay? And if you have a look at the images and everything, it completely reflects their ideal customer, okay? Like, for example, the owner is typically who the ideal customer is also, right? She built it for females, women who want to work out and eat healthy. But if you have a look at the premium A+ content, it is amazing, right? It gives them the story, first of all, gives us the brand story. So in this, I'm talking about also another thing is having a good brand story that resonates, right? People buy from humans, right? They typically really want to figure out who you are, what problem you personally face, and why your solution exists. That's going to be very, very important. And clearly, it's right here from a brand story. You can see the smile. If you have a product, someone holding a product, make sure they're smiling, looking at the camera. Very, very important. Showcase different elements, the color scheme. And then if you look in the premium A+ content, awesome. Showcases the benefits of the product. 6 essential female-focused real beef organs. Clinically studied for a supplement. They want to see exactly whether it's right for them, it's healthy, there's no back-end issues. So they're answering questions here, obviously backed by data. Why they handpicked these 6 specific beef organs. So you can scroll, it's showing the benefits, pros versus cons. 100x more vitamin B12 than spinach. You know, it's just selling the product super, super well. Why females need beef organs. So for example, maybe a customer doesn't know exactly why they need this product. So they're even answering questions why you specifically need this. This is very, very important. This is going a layer deeper to show exactly what are the benefits for it. So they're pretty much capturing a whole new audience with this who are on the fence of buying this product because they don't understand what the benefit is. But this is a prime 10 out of 10 example. They're even showing exactly the results, like how long it will typically take: 1 week, 1 month, what you can expect, 2 months, what you can expect, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. Awesome job. There's a reason why they do almost 1.2 million when they launched earlier this year, for example. Crushing it. This is a perfect example of a listing you want to copy. And the last thing I want to emphasize, and what Amazon native brands really struggle with, is warm traffic that converts like crazy. What's the point of fighting for cold traffic when you can create funnels specifically for warm traffic for higher conversion rates? So instead, you can send Meta or Google traffic to a simple landing page, which I'll show you what that means, educate and build desire for your product, drive them to Amazon. Now they'll typically have a much higher chance of converting at a higher rate. Now, why is this? Because they're already sold on the idea of your product. They've already committed twice. They clicked your ad and they chose to learn more on your landing page, which means warm intent, which equals dramatically higher conversion rates. So here's what I'm talking about. For example, imagine you set up ads, whether it's Google ads, Meta ads, Instagram affiliates, whatever traffic you're getting, and you send them to a landing page like this. And the entire point is to get them to hit buy on Amazon. They look at this listing, and your entire goal here is to sell them on your product. So this is pretty much your product detail page on Amazon, but you have no competitors here. It's just your listing. Show them why they should buy your product. You're selling them on every single thing about your product, why it's so damn awesome. Okay. Now, typically when they go through this process and they're really high intent and they hit buy on Amazon, there's a higher chance they'll convert now because they're already sold on the idea of your product. So if they hit buy on Amazon, unless your total listing here is just crap for whatever reason, obviously do not send traffic to a crap listing. Send it to a good listing. This is why it's doing 1.3 million. But if your listing here is really solid to good price points, good reviews, good ratings, the images reflect what they're just on the landing page, high chance they will convert into a buyer and they will not care as much about looking at other people on here. This is the one benefit of creating an external traffic funnel and what we do for our clients, because it really helps, like for example, high ticket products, so you are not competing with price with all these other people here. You created an entire brand and experience for this customer before they even went on your Amazon product page. And this, when done right, will massively improve your conversion rates. So to finish off, those are a bunch of things you can look into to improve your conversion rate on Amazon. For example, one brand we work with was stuck at 286K per month. We didn't discount, we didn't do anything, we didn't lower margins, we just dialed in our strategy to help them scale. Now, if you want to work with me and my team to help you scale your brand on Amazon with our 3-phase revenue growth system and external traffic funnels, which I just showed you, hit the link in bio where you can go over our entire system, how we can help you out, what brands struggle with really on Amazon, brands who've helped on Amazon, and exactly whether it's a fit for us to work together in the future. So link in bio for that. Let me know your thoughts on all this. Have a wonderful day.